Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. Um, Before anyone asks, what's your costume for today? I'm a cartoon character. Duh. Um, let's go. We're running out of costume ideas. I'm going to do a haircut um, in the coming days, and that should change up the costume capabilities um, as we go through the following weeks. So that'll be good. But right now we're just a cartoon character, keeping it simple. It's really hard to use the mouse and keyboard. I don't think I'll have to use the keyboard now, but we'll see. We'll get to that issue when we get there. But even this is just like, it's a little much. But we have some things to look at on Reddit, including this new. People are calling it like, I think on Hutch's stream he called it Shockgate or something like that, and I feel like it's pretty clear to see what happened. But again, it's all speculation. We don't know for sure. The hair is almost Mickey ears. We're getting there. We're close. Mickey turned to a real life person and got on drugs and then got off the street, but is still kind of recovering. But yeah, so we have that. Then we have a the most recent podcast from Howie Mandel is featuring guest Dax Flame. And I don't want to show the whole thing. We're not going to look through the whole podcast episode. But what the plan is to show a couple parts because I've been following Dax Flame pretty intently. I'm one of his biggest fans. And I think some of the stuff that Howie is not understanding is causing some issues in his mind. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Okay. Got to get chat up. Oh, let's hope this is working. Again, using this mouse is so... Okay, I'm so glad that works properly. Okay, but let's get into it. Let's just get into things. Is that looking right now? Nope, it's not. Got to make it a little bit... There we go. Perfect. Now we're looking good. Oh no, I accidentally right-clicked. Oh no, the mouse is going everywhere. Hold it steady. There we go. Everything's going perfect. But, calling all Donarchs. This is my local nature center. I thought this was pretty cool. Calling, they're repairing a wing. I thought they said it here. Yeah, they helped a monarch fly free, a little buddy. So true.
A monarch butterfly was brought in with a broken wing, so we rehabilitated him. We have a butterfly vivarium, so we used a dead butterfly wing and we attached it to the living butterfly, and believe it or not, it worked. And this butterfly now can continue his migration down to Mexico. So exciting.
Truly beautiful stuff. We love to see it. But that was just a simple one. This I honestly just thought was weird. I don't even know. This is like what a friend posts. Why did Anissa post this? Also, Ethan Klein is 5'7" at best. I repeat, Ethan is 5'7" at best. The man claims he's 5'11", but he's my height? Why would he lie? People did some height analysis. I just think it was stupid that, like, this is like such a jokey little like thing. It's like this is literally a post you make about like your buddy. But great stuff. Especially after ignoring all of the actual thing, she ignored all of the Shadman posts, all of the stories Ethan made about their old following of Shadman. You could do the Mugatu look from Zoolander. See, that is possible, but he's blonde, and I don't have any dye. I just kind of don't want to. Someone said Wolverine, but I'd have to let that grow out for so much longer and then also shave these a little bit. So we have one last hairstyle that I can do with it that was recommended to me, so we're going to do that. Sorry, the glove came off for a second. Had to use the mouse. I ruined the illusion. She really got him, as if Ethan doesn't make jokes about height constantly. This is also factually, this is provably false. They had the height analysis. They've done it scientifically to inspect his true height. But yeah, just another little something. We'll kind of expand on what this is about in a minute, but it's all about the build-up, right? This is an old stream clip. Ian and Anissa, being entitled on a plane, forced the guy sitting in front of them's window open after he closes it twice.
I love Tears of the Kingdom. In case anyone is still on the fence, you gotta get it. I don't think you guys need to talk about Zelda in our chat. I will say, though, there was Anissa on our flight back from LA recently. She was sitting behind a guy who was playing Tears of the Kingdom on his Switch. And as soon as he sat down, because he's in the window seat right in front of us, unfortunately, we were near the exit rows, so Anissa didn't have a window to use at all, and she usually needs that for her, like, motion sickness. And so she got a little sliver of his window, and she's, like, trying to, like, look out of it for takeoff. But he fucking immediately shuts it because it's glaring. The glare is hitting his Tears of the Kingdom. Window. And I was like, I fucking hate Zelda. I stood up and I said, I fucking hate Zelda. And any bitch who's playing Zelda in my presence.
I hate Zelda too. My favorite character is Link. I don't like Zelda. I prefer when she's Sheik. Is that what the character's name is?
Presence is gonna get their ass kicked. But no, what ended up happening is I ended up being a little bit more like, I wouldn't say passive aggressive.
Instead, he didn't go, I fucking hate Legend of Zelda. Passive aggressively. Instead, he just actually passive aggressively went, huh. I wish I could look out the window. I wish we could look out the window. Let me.
I should say, like, assertive. And I was just like, well, we're allowed to put up the fucking window. Like, we have just as much right as him, and we don't care what happens to the window after takeoff. She's good after takeoff. So I was like, I'm going to fucking just open it. Actually, no. I opened it for the land.
See, I'm kind of joking around because it's genuinely not that big of a deal to, like, if you ask, like, hey, bro, can I open this up? I need it for takeoff and landing. Would you prefer this or me throwing up? You decide. They'll usually go, you know what, you're right. I can leave Legend of Zelda for a minute. I can put it down for a second. I can even turn my device. Let the person next to me get a good look at what I'm playing. But I think it also speaks volumes to their, like, communication skills. And showing that, like, when Michael and they were talking about, like, oh, well, you need to communicate with us. When he was being racist to Dagestanis and being weird. When he's the one who's just grunting and not communicating. And it has nothing to do with his race or where he's from. It's all the CTE. It's got to him. Sad stuff, really.
Landing, and Anissa opened it for the takeoff. So Anissa was like, I'm going to do it. And she slithered her hand right up there and was like, eh. Established dominant. Open that window, looking him dead in the eye. Damn, I knew he hated Zelda. No, I don't hate.
No, what he should have done was this. Is like, this is the seat. This is like the seat level. You come up over the seat and you just look at the, and you look back at him. You keep looking at the window. And you're like, you know, kind of that like, wait, bro, why'd you close it? Until he opens it back up himself. You make him do it. That's how you assert dominance. Just this over and over again. He stops looking at you. He stops looking at you, but as soon as he looks up again, he's playing his game. He's playing Legend of Zelda. He doesn't care. He looks up. You're still there, locked on. Your wife's already thrown up. She's already thrown up in her purse. But you are asserting dominance, and that's what matters.
I hate Zelda. Not at all. Not at all. I have a lot of respect for people who play Zelda. And people will wear Zelda merchandise and cosplay, but I just wouldn't do it myself.
Imagine some guy put his hand by the window and Nisa was by. She'd pretend to be harassed. See, I just genuinely thought for a second of imagine the guy sitting there and just seeing like a hand slip through by the window. And he's just like, what's going on? You could just ask. It's okay. He doesn't even realize that she doesn't have a window. He's like, why did she just open my window back up? But now we move on. So this is the big story right now. This is the big thing that's come out. Hasan, this was a question someone posed to the audience, to the class. Is Hasan shocking his show dog to keep her in camera view? Please, someone tell me that there is a better way to interpret this clip. A friend just sent me. Trigger warning, potential animal abuse. This is pretty crazy. This clip's kind of long. I don't know why. But you can see right here she gets up.
Something that is just so routine, so silly, such a first world problem. But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same.
She's sniffing around. She's honestly hesitant to get off of her bed.
Reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go.
He reaches over for something. Who knows what it is? Maybe he's on his left-handed mouse that's off over to the side and he's fixing something. But she's like getting back on her bed too.
Just stop.
She yelps.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
And then he calls her a baby. Scumbag. Scumbag. Very sensitive to animal cruelty. Might have to be right back. God, I hate this clip. In my opinion, even if he didn't have a shock collar, how can you justify getting that mad at your dog for taking one step off the bed? We'll get to kind of his explanation and all of this, so we'll get to it. But that's the main clip. So that's it. You saw she stepped one step off the bed. He said, Kaya, what are you doing? She kind of is like, oh, okay, I'll get back on my bed. Starts getting back on the bed. Whimpers for some reason. Yelps. And then lays back down. In the original position that she was in. Where she was head down originally. Hasan goes on and claims Kaya hurt herself.
Oh my
we should note
God.
that new CBS.
Did he name her that after the Bob Marley song?
Is there like a fucking LSF video or something? Is that why there's like hella people coming in here and screeching? Is that what's going on? Oh, classic.
No, that's another part. Why is he so mean to her? I don't get why he was being such a dick. Like, legitimately, like, your dog just got hurt. Who cares? Like, oh, she's just being a baby right now. I go, oh, you okay? What happened? What happened? Is your bed fucked up? What did you just get hurt on?
It started on D, then H3, then LSF is the classic pipeline.
If that was actually what it was.
I'm gonna fucking die, dude. Yes, I am incredibly abusive to the not only best trained, but also the best behaving and most spoiled dog on the planet. Stupid sexy Hasan. Yeah, why do all the girls like herself on something when she was getting off the bed?
Yeah, he said she clipped herself.
Spoiled dog on the planet. Is from when Kaya yelped. Yeah, she yelped because she fucking clipped herself on something when she was getting off the bed.
Infinite eye rolls. Again, I don't think there's anything for her to clip herself on, and why would that make her yelp? And again, even if that was the reason, I don't see why you wouldn't go check on her. And here's another instance in which she gets off her bed and he doesn't use a collar, but he glares at her and she goes back onto the bed.
Loyalty pledge to become a fucking comptroller in Illinois.
Don't call it a bed. Let's call it a cot. Because why does he have this like elevated cot for her? It's a little bit like, it's just a bit too small. It was probably a decent size when she was a puppy, but like, why not just get her some kind of like just get her a fucking big bean bag, throw it in the corner. She'll be okay.
Or whatever, I think is insane. And it makes people more insane when they hear this kind of demand because they don't have the same level of loyalty or the same positive feelings and the same positive association with Israel. So all this does is breed resentment against Israel, and also depending on how That's crazy.
I think he's saying that's crazy to what he was talking about before, but it does just seem like he's talking about the dog. That's crazy she wanted to get up. I don't think that's what he meant, but... My dog, who is a third the size of Kaya, has a beanbag that 3 people can sit on. My cat is tiny and he sleeps on our giant beanbag. He has claimed it as his bed. Hasan says he bought a shock collar and calls them incredibly effective. So this does prove that he has a shock collar, but it also shows that he is possibly opposed to using them. But I will say that this is also the past, so we just know that other people in his life use them. And they're not even, like, here's the thing. He's just also like a terrible liar. She clipped herself on the bed. Most shock collars have settings where it has like an electric shock, a vibration, or a high-pitched sound, or like a sound that'll go off that's meant to like alert them and kind of snap them out of whatever they're doing. If you really wanted to like lie, he could just say it was like a high-pitched noise or something. Be like, oh, it didn't get picked up by the microphone. What are you talking about? We tested it with our dogs at home. Well, it didn't get picked up on the microphone. I have it set a certain way, so my voice comes out deep. But you know what I'm saying though? Like, that would at least be like a better lie. But just saying she clipped herself on the bed, if you clearly at that point don't know why she yelped, and should just say that. Just go, oh, I don't know why she yelped. Yeah, she yelped for some reason. I don't know. She's a big baby. I was telling her to get back on the bed and she yelped. Say something like that, and then yeah, maybe people will be like, oh yeah, she is being a big baby. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's so cute. She's such a big baby. You scolded her and she got upset because you scolded her. That's so cute. People might even like, that's at least more believable on some level. That's more like believable for the people that want to agree with you. An elevated bed is good for big dogs to avoid hip or joint problems, but that one seems too small. Yeah, that's what I've heard, is that it's good for joints on bigger dogs. But I also don't think it's bad for a dog to get up and walk around after laying down for hours. Laying down for hours probably isn't good for their joints. Because here's an example of Hasan. This is in that instance. Hasan's dog laying on the exact same spot for 4 hours straight.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the Hasan Abi broadcast.
So from 11... Or wait.
No matter where you are in the world, I'm Hasan Piker, and this
those are minutes. Okay, so hour 1.
He's just violence.
So after 2 hours of laying down, she's laid down for 2 hours straight, and she finally decided she wanted to get up. Like, she's been laying down for 2 hours. Let her get up and go walk around for a bit. Maybe she wants to go, like... She probably isn't a free-range eater. Like, he probably does have scheduled eating. But maybe she wants to go drink some water or something.
Consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America... Kaya, please just fucking go... Just stop.
Like, crazy. And then she goes back and lays there. Can't stay, just came to drop a like. If you haven't, you should. Shout out Caterpuss. You should like the video. Like this stream if you haven't already. Because here was my thought, right? If he has water in here for her and her bed's in here, and honestly, this space is just kind of confined for a big dog like that. Maybe it's just the way the camera looks, but like it looks like it's too small. But if he like made it so he was like, oh, I don't want her leaving the room. I want her to know like to stay near me at all times. But literally his thing is just I want her laying in the bed because he says it's for her hips. He says because he doesn't want her laying on the ground because of her hips and her joints. Which is like it's a decent reasoning, but she's also a big dog that needs like exercise and probably just wants to go walk around for a bit. Let her go roam for a minute. She should be, I mean, if you have a decently trained dog, you can just call out to her if you think like she's doing something or getting into something and she'll come back. But he also said it's because he let his mom just let her walk around and was spoiled or something. So weird. Hasan lying through his teeth about the shock collar and the public reaction.
For those of you who ask, why do you always do the place command? The reason why I always do the place command is because she likes to lay on the ground. Okay? She likes to be by my side, but she likes to lay on the ground. And the reason why I don't like letting her lay on the ground as opposed to that.
I mean, if she wants to lay closer to you, put the bed closer to you then. It sounds like that's what it is. But again, that does kind of fulfill the narrative of her, like, of her just being a prop in the background. He let her go, though. He let her go this time.
Bed is because the bed... Come here.
I also thought it was interesting. He called her like a cat. I haven't known most people to go to their, like... Maybe that's just me. I feel like you whistle more, or like... You might do like a... You do like a kissy noise sometimes for dogs. I feel like he did it like you do for a cat.
Is because...
I know he's had dogs in the past, and we'll get to that, don't worry, but...
The bed is better for her joints. Okay? Get her a better bed then? No, that bed is perfectly fine for her.
I also just feel like it's such... Like, he is just the performative... He is performative king. The way he is letting her walk around now, come and sit by him so he can pet her after he's getting called out for possibly having shocked her.
Because when she lays on the ground as a big girl, it fucks up her joints. Don't let him lie to you, Chad. It's because he's a terrorist? Yeah.
I need it like in a moment where Hasan is...
Fucks up her joint. Don't let him lie to you, Chad. It's because he's a terrorist? Yeah. Why do you need to tell people this? Did something happen? Yes. It's going viral that they're claiming that the most well-trained and the most spoiled, best kept after dog on the planet is actually being abused by me, apparently.
I was gonna say, does he have a Ramsey Hunt syndrome like Justin Bieber had? He just looks like he has two different faces here. Like, and I don't mean to make fun of a lazy eye, But legitimately, I've never seen him look so different on like two halves of his face. It's quite interesting. Because I don't think he has like a lazy eye. He doesn't normally.
Because I gave her the place command while she was getting off, and then she yelped. These shadows don't know she broke the other beds? Yeah. She'd broken the previous bed. Bro, that dog is being abused. 4-hour streams every day of Hasan. I can't imagine. Yeah. And I suspect it's coming from, you know, some crazy haters. They said you shocked her with a button. Yeah. In my evil villain lair. Good thing I didn't hit the fucking trapdoor button instead on accident. She reviewed food online. She up? No, she went when she was getting off the bed.
Like, I don't mean to be... it does sound stupid to be like, you have to break it down play by play. But wouldn't it just be so easy to go, here's what happened. She got off the bed. As she was getting off the bed, I reach over to grab my delicious Dr. Pepper. And then she whimpered for some reason. I don't know. I don't really care. It's not a big deal. It's just so odd. His non-stop air of condescension is so irritating. He's just a lying scumbag, yeah. I think that's plain to see. Guest says the dog collar is too tight. Was he about to say it's a shock collar? It's a...
And now it's mainstream. I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Yeah, well, it's here we go.
It's you have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like, it's a lot of neck meat.
But like a few things in that would indicate that it's possibly a shock collar, because it needing to be tight would indicate it being a shock collar, so the prongs could meet the neck. Her having more neck meat would also mean that she would want it tighter so that to make sure that it's going through. But if it was just a regular collar, you would want it looser on her if she does just have a lot of neck meat. She got that she got the chin fupa. She got the neck fupa. Such a stretch to say it's a shock collar made. I'm confused as to what that means. I think Ethan's post with an Amazon screenshot of a shock collar made him look bad, to be honest. It doesn't look like the screenshot at all. Detractors say it's an AirTag, but AirTags don't have green lights. True. Yeah, I think if you don't know exactly what model it is, and so it's dumb to make like that insinuation that you could like identify it. You typoed what? Did you just add an extra word there? Did you just say shock collar? Because yeah, I mean, I think to be fair, if she is so concerned about the collar, if it was a shock collar, you would also expect her to maybe say it might, you would expect her to say that too. But I mean, it's also, again, he doesn't need to prove it to anybody. It's not necessary. But how easy would it be to just show her collar on stream and be like, this is the collar she wears, take it off for a second, this is the collar she wears, simple as. But here's an old clip of Hasan tugging on his dog's tail, which is fucking crazy.
Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay?
Crazy thing to say. Here's the thing. I understand. I know people that say crazy stuff. I don't necessarily think the one-time statement is the worst ever, because he's just saying, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Because he's thinking, like, you could run in the street or something. So, like, I get it. Like, that's not necessarily the worst part. This is the worst part. Sorry, I'm trying to skip over. They play music here for some reason.
Come here.
Like, you can hear it in the dog's breathing. Oh, it's a stretch to say that Hasan was going to say shock collar. That's fair. Yeah. No, that's fair. I was more taking it from... not that he was going to say shock collar, but what he said about her having a lot of neck meat and it being super tight was more of what I was taking away from the video. But I think that's fair too. That just like a random stupid flub in thought. Him saying neck meat alone doesn't mean he was just substituting for shock collar. But I think it does kind of feed to the idea a little bit. I also am realizing that I'm coming across as a Hasan defender. I am not, lol. Just trying to look at the optics of how Ethan presents his arguments. No, I appreciate it too. Just you being able to push back at all. It is good to see. We don't care about pushback. We just care about snarking. But yeah, this is just crazy.
Come here.
Like, you can hear it in his breathing.
Stay. No, come here.
He's tired and wanted to lay down in the shade. I don't know why he was pulling him, like why he needed to pull him closer. Oh yeah, see, it's playing music. But legitimately just pulling him by his tail. You can cause, like, issues to their vertebrae by doing that. Yeah, I can't imagine pulling a dog's tail like that so hard that you actually move them back. Like, you know, I think everybody's grabbed their dog's tail as a joke, but as soon as you feel them pull away a little bit, you let go because you're like, oh shit, don't want to actually pull on their tail. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like a thing of like, gotcha, do it with their paw, do it with their arm, gotcha. But I would never fucking actually pull them back. Is crazy. Yeah, dog is like 50 pounds easy. That's a hard tail pull. And he's like, it's pulling away to get into the shade. So you know that to pull him back, he's like pulling against the dog's resistance too. So that's like a decent pull. Ugh. And I think this is probably worse than the suspected shock collar for sure. But it altogether definitely doesn't paint a pretty picture. Yeah, they're not going to fight back because they're sweet. I wish they would have. I wish the dog... I don't know if it was a boy or girl. I think this is Fish, right? Was Fish a boy? Wish Fish would have just turned around. Went real pit bull mode. I don't believe that pit bulls are evil animals. My family's had pit bulls throughout my entire life. Not my family, but my extended family. My grandparents and my tío and tía. But they... I have seen what pit bulls are capable of, though. They're mostly territorial against each other if they're trained well. Well, decent enough. But it really does depend on the training. Because if you don't associate them with the other dogs, they do become very territorial, even if they are good around people. Because all the dogs would literally be super good around people, but then there were like a few of them that because they got to the age where they would just want to assert dominance onto each other. And they did it through trying to rip each other apart. No animal is inherently evil. Well, I mean, they're literally just acting on instinct, trying to either assert their dominance in a hierarchy or defending themselves to what is like a suspected threat. So I don't think dogs are ever doing anything in malice. You know what I mean? A dog is never acting in like any type of moral positioning. They're just acting. My ex and I had a pit bull, and she was so sweet and loving. Pit bulls are great. Pit bulls are nanny dogs. Let's not forget it. Nanny dogs. Look at this. How cute. Aww. So sweet. With the baby. With the spiked collar, so the wolves come by and they can fight them off. They can fight off the coyotes. The coyotes. I definitely pulled the dog's tail when I was a kid and didn't know better, but I grew up like a normal person. So true. Like, that's the thing, too. I'm surprised the dog didn't yelp at all from that. Strong-ass dog. And, like, that's the thing. I think that's, like, an excuse some people would use. The dog didn't seem to mind. But, like, realistically, it doesn't matter. You can damage the dog's tail, like, very badly. But, yes. Then, for some reason, Anissa decided to come forward. Ethan posted, and I think Nicholas Diorio said that he thought this was like, he was like, did Dan Saltman write this? Because it's a little egregious, the speaking, until you see the actual clip of it. Because, like, I don't know how you think that Hasan wasn't using a shot collar in that instance. I feel like that is, like, the clear, like, that's the quickest conclusion to draw from that. If Hasan can't prove what he was reaching for and the actual reason that she, like, yelped. Because if her foot also got caught on her bed, he told a chatter that the bed's perfectly fine and he doesn't need to get a new bed. You need to get a new bed if her foot's getting caught and making her yelp. That's also, like, kind of a good point, I think. Like, I don't think she should be on a bed if it's going to injure her more, right? Yeah, their tails are attached to their spine. There are people born with tails. Let's not forget that. My sister has a pit bull. Yeah, see, I guess I didn't consider... I guess I realized that you could damage their spine, but I guess I didn't think about how it's so closely attached to the hips and stuff there, too. You could really probably do damage to their back and their, like, lower legs if you do something, like, improper, because it's kind of like a disconnected piece. But what Ethan said was horrifying animal cruelty caught on camera by Hasan as he activates her shock collar for one tiny step off of her bed. She cries in pain, poor baby. I always thought it was extremely bizarre that his young, energetic puppy never took a step off her bed. That has to be the result of some brutally strict training. Just because Ethan's a horrible dog owner and can't... Then Anissa said, I'm a big dog advocate. Love training dogs with positive reinforcement, as you can tell with Merlin and Fiona on Ian's streams. I've met Kaya. I saw Kaya while Hasan was streaming. She never had a shock collar on. She was good at her place command, but that's very easily accomplished with positive reinforcement. I would be very, very surprised if this was actually Kaya reacting to a shock collar. I mean, her reacting in intimidation to just his sight is a little something. I guess you could say that's how strong the place command is, but then she goes on to say, just because Ethan's a horrible dog owner and can't train his dogs worth shit doesn't mean other people are using shock collars. And then she said, what a pathetic shit... Or then Ethan replied, what a pathetic shit stain of a human being to immediately hand wave away animal abuse and instead try to turn it on my four loved dogs. Anissa will erase this tweet after more evidence of Hasan's animal abuse comes to light. And then he made a good point that CPS visits my family, Anissa sleeps. Hasan caught abusing his dog on camera. I must defend my friend. He never did that. My nose was itchy. I wasn't doing cocaine, I swear. Was there anything else interesting? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this doesn't look like the same thing. What it looks like is this does look like a tag. It looks like a tag attached to here, let me grab One sec. Do you know where Coley's collar is?
What?
Where's Coley's collar? I thought it was in here. It's fine. Alright, I need to. I looked in there. Well, basically, what I'm saying is the AirTag little bobs fit on top of the collar. So there's the AirTag. This does look like it's probably an AirTag, but it's just a piece that goes on top of the collar. And then this is whatever is the shocking device, which doesn't look the same. But this green light is definitely something. And who knows? Maybe it's for range, so she doesn't leave a certain area. We're trying to find my cat's collar. He doesn't wear it all the time. But he does. He does wear it all the time. He needs to. Yeah, I don't know. We need to find it, I guess. It's probably in his bag, his to-go bag. That's probably where it is. But yeah, that's why we have the AirTag at all. I have a little light that clips onto my dog's harness. Could be a light. A green light for what? She was sitting back on the bed before the shock. She was getting back on the bed because he was getting upset at her. Let's not forget that. There was no command. There was no positive reinforcement. No, that too is like regardless of what we want to like think about it, she was already going back to the bed. So I'm more concerned about even if she wasn't hurt, or even if he didn't shock her, she was hurt by something, and he clearly didn't give a shit. I meant the white dot. Oh, a light so you can see it like a reflective thing. Yeah, the green light's sus. The green light's very sus. Ethan does go wild trying to look things up and posting like that. The whole situation looks bad enough without him trying to find the exact device. No, exactly. Like, and who knows, maybe this one does have a green light on the side that we can't see. It's possible. Maybe that's the exact model, and he is exactly right. But it's also not necessary to figure that out for Hasan to prove this all himself. He could prove it all himself, but he's choosing not to. Just a coincidence? Imagine for 1 second if it was Ethan on stream. We actually don't have to imagine. We know how y'all reacted to the Giardia lie, which was completely manufactured by Bad Empanada. You don't have a leg to stand on here. Shout out Kate, the girl with a microphone. Hasan's dog Kaya yelps after he appeared to reach for something while telling her to get back in place. That's Yeet at Ock to 20,000. Oh, Internet Tough Guy's here. What up, gamers? So true. Oh, and then this is the thing I have, yeah. Here's a post that Anissa made a while back, I guess, showing how good she is of a dog trainer. Our Rottweiler broke a window and jumped outside while we were out filming something. When we came home, we realized what had happened. It was the scariest 10 minutes of our lives. Thankfully, though, someone put her in our backyard. Very, very relieved. Very, very relieved to know someone was scared to approach her and knew where to put her. or someone wasn't scared to approach her and knew where to put her. Super well trained. She's been training dogs for years, for decades. Kate is always right, so true. Yeah, exactly. Regardless of anything, regardless of if it's a shot call or anything, why did she yelp? Why was he not surprised by her yelp? Like, at the very least, he didn't, like, go and see what was up with his dog. And then also, again, his claim is that it was the bed that, like, she got caught, her paw got caught on the bed and it made her yelp. And then he argued with a chatter that the bed's perfectly fine and he doesn't need to get a new one. He, like, keep your lies straight, buddy. Broke a window's crazy. I hope the Rottweiler was okay. It wasn't, like, bleeding all over itself. From what I've seen, Rottweilers are usually pretty alright. Maybe the Rottweiler saw somebody trying to break in. The Rottweiler saw somebody at the window and they said, you know what, I got this. I'm on this today. Which one do I have next? Oh, not that one. Yes, that is right. So next we're going to be looking at Dax Flame. Dax Flame was recently on the Howie Mandel podcast. Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I have to say, this came out yesterday. This came out one day ago. This shit got 6,000 views. I don't know if that's Howie's fault or if that's Dax's fault. But you guys got to work on it a little bit. Got to work on your algo. On your pushing in the algo. Maybe Howie, you need to up the game a little bit. You're Howie fucking Mandel. The last couple weeks, 6.9, 7.8. This one got 78, but it's Tim Allen. So that kind of makes sense. And see, Howie's a funny guy. He's an interesting guy. I think part of it's the thumbnails. I think the introductions might run a little bit long. Sometimes you can tell that Howie's nervous. Yes, Dax Flame from 21 Jump Street and Project X and Project X 2. But here, I want you to watch this video real quick.
This is going to be different than my normal videos because Lily broke up with me. She kicked me out because a hacker hacked my phone and sent messages to her friend that made it seem like I was cheating on her with her friend. And I would never do that. And then the hacker also stole all of my money. But then Jacob and Daniel said I could stay with them, so at least I have a place to stay, so that's where I am right now. But I really just wish I could talk to Lily and explain everything, because I don't want her to be sad, and I wish I could just show her that it was a hacker. And I don't care about my money or anything, all I just care about is that I miss her and I love her. This is going to be different than my normal videos, because Lily broke up.
Why are both of these the same image? Wait, I'm actually so confused. Why are both of these the same image? My files thing got messed up, I think. I'm so confused by this. What I'm trying to show is, wait, I'm actually so... Oh, this is the right one. Why didn't this one download? That's so weird. Please don't open on the wrong screen. There we go. Basically, if this will work. Oh no. Oh no. What do we think of that? Howie has fallen off. Very true. God damn it. I'm actually so mad right now that I had this set up like this. There we go. Perfect. Where the hell was the other one? That's that. There we go. Why is it zoomed in now? No, there we go. Okay. He posted this on his story. I didn't have it saved, so I had to screenshot it. Like it wasn't going to be saved on his story, so I had to screenshot it. I'm going to start visualizing bad things. Then I will visualize the solutions. That way, I'm able to practice facing certain fears and difficult scenarios. I'll do it for 1 week instead of 2 weeks. So Dax Flame went and he was thinking up some hard scenarios.
Guys, stop. No, come on. I'm calling them. Stop.
Calm down. No, it was an accident. I didn't mean to. Yeah. Because y'all were making it seem like that.
Somebody
Yes.
Okay, come on right now. Calm down right now. Like,
Trust me, so she wouldn't. Wait, don't film me.
Okay, Dax is acting crazy right now. He's never acted like this before. I don't know what's going on.
stop. Dax, what the hell, dude?
I lost control of my emotions earlier because I accidentally hit Jacob when I was trying to get my phone. And then I tried to make things up to them by lighting some candles and making it more relaxing. But I accidentally started a fire and did some damage to their apartment. So I feel really bad.
Guys, stop. No, come on. I'm calling them.
But don't worry, guys. He's going to repair everything. And this is all because of this therapist.
This is Michael. He's a therapist and he's gonna help me today. So I recently paid an actress to pretend to be my girlfriend for 2 weeks and it was the best 2 weeks of my life. And so how do I turn my dreams into a reality?
You should continue with visualization while taking actionable steps towards your goals.
So visualizing is a good thing?
Yes, it's very healthy to visualize your...
Oh. Is today not going to be for members? Is today for everybody? Hasan Piker fully canceled over dog controversy. Are they gonna go on live for everybody? You guys got to figure this out.
goals until they come true.
Awesome, thank you. So then I think I will just continue to do visualizations with Jacob and Lily and Daniel, if that's something you would like to see more of. So if you do want to see more of that, please let me know. And if not, I can just do visualization stuff privately and just make regular videos for you. So thank you so much for watching and thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
I personally like the visualizations. I was feeling a little lost after I finished the visualizations and missed doing them. The therapist Michael said it's not bad to visualize things, so maybe I should continue visualizing until those dreams become a reality. I can also visualize myself overcoming obstacles and difficult challenges, and I plan to make regular videos as well either way. Please let me know whether you're open to seeing more visualizations or not. I'm always open to it, Dax. I'm open to whatever content you want to drop. He had a whole family. He got a girl pregnant. He had a whole family, and he died an old man. That was his good life. But now he was visualizing the bad life.
Is it true that a Project X sequel is coming soon?
Yeah,
This was pretty funny.
Hi, everyone. So, Dax got arrested yesterday. Don't worry. I was able to bail him out, but unfortunately, he didn't have the money to pay me back. So, we worked out this deal where I get his account as payment. I don't normally do social media or make videos. This is going to be a new experience for me. I hope to keep the spirit of his channel alive and hope to get to know all of you while I'm learning how this is all done. So this should be fun and looking forward to having a good time. Hi, everyone.
You see, he's doing the visualization, and he needs like a real representation to actually visualize properly. But then the next step is the actualization, and he'll get there at some point.
Is it true that a Project X sequel is coming soon?
Yeah, it's a super fun movie, so I'm excited for people to see it.
People are going to love that.
Thank you. But yeah, ultimately, I just miss my fiance because we split up.
I know you had a lot going on lately. Are you comfortable talking about your arrest?
Yeah, I got in trouble for hitting someone accidentally, but basically...
Sorry, I'm not actually showing this in order. He bought the account back. Oh, this was the Project X sequel. I was able to buy my account back because of this role. He's playing Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi. I'm on the pursuit of happiness, and I know I'm gonna find it, always gonna be gold. Remember that one? That's a banger.
Sequel is coming soon.
Yeah, it's a super fun movie, so I'm excited for people to see it.
People are gonna love that.
Thank you. But yeah, ultimately, I just miss my fiance because we split up.
I know you had a lot going on lately. Are you comfortable talking about your arrest?
Yeah, I got in trouble for hitting someone accidentally, but basically what happened was my
click, 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 click.
Friend had grabbed my shoulder, so then when I turned, I accidentally hit my other friend, and then that's where the mix-up happened. And then my friend actually gave us a clip to confirm that.
Let's take a look.
When I went to grab Dax's shoulder, I knew I surprised him, so I knew it was a complete accident when he smacked Jacob. However, I do still believe we need some space from him. I mean, at least for now.
Well, I hope everything works out for you guys.
Thank you. And yeah, if I can't get Lily back, then I just hope that the hacker is brought to justice.
Is it true that a Project X...
Yep. The hacker will be brought to justice. Now, I think Howie is also just a high-level troll. Because Howie brings Dax on.
Oh, whose idea was it?
Howie's.
Oh, this was great.
You don't want... Do you have a... Is it... what is it about the headset that you don't want to wear?
I just don't like to hear my voice back.
So why don't you put it on and then don't say anything?
Okay.
All right. Now you can
Problem
talk.
solved.
See?
Yeah.
That wasn't so
just to
terrible.
listen to you, and then when I talk, I can take it off.
Let's do it like that. Let's do it like that.
Okay.
No, don't make him wear a headset if he doesn't want to.
But we're gonna play some stuff that I want him to hear.
Does it
So when-
look more professional for... Or, yeah.
No.
But hang on. For somebody that doesn't like to hear their own voice, you are a huge star online.
I don't mind the sound of my voice, but just not while I'm talking.
I thought he went back.
It's distracting if I'm talking like this, and then I can hear my voice at the same time.
Let him take it off, and then when you have
He hears the slight delay. It bothers him. Been there.
something you want
That's
to
why I
show
don't
him.
have mine running directly through my mic. I have my headphones going through the computer, so I don't have to listen to my voice.
him, he can put it on and listen.
Problem solved.
Okay, cool.
See?
No, I don't want to force anything. I didn't understand.
And this is a new camera setup, right?
Yeah. Do you not like this?
Actually, it is kind of weird.
You don't
Why?
like
Because the cameras are in the middle of us talking.
It is really weird.
Whose idea was it?
Kyle, whose idea was it?
Howie's.
That was your idea?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. You should change it for the next episode.
Do you want to change it now? You can move the camera
No,
wherever you
that's
want
okay.
to. No, go ahead.
No,
You should.
You don't like the headsets. You don't like the way the camera is.
You all know that I'm a fan of technical critiques. Making fun of Howie's set is amazing. Why the fuck did he decide to put two cameras in the middle of them talking? One facing them, one facing Dax. You could have at least set this up in a way, because I get what he's trying to do is that way it looks like you're looking into the camera when you're talking to each other, but you're not talking to each other because you're just facing the camera. There are so many people there. What the hell? That's the band.
You can change it.
He has
You
a
can
lot.
do it.
And that's kind of weird for that shot for the viewers that they have cameras in the middle of the room.
You don't like that?
I think the viewers might not, but they can comment, leave a comment, and then if you're an audio person, audio only listener, then you can just send a message to Howie that it doesn't matter to you. Oh, unless you could tell that the guests seem different.
I'm here to move it.
Go ahead. You move it wherever you want. I want you to be comfortable before we start.
Maybe just that one, if it's backed up and zoomed in on y'all, then
Okay.
it would be blocking my view of Howie less.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll move that. You can see that.
The last person that played with our setup,
I think it's
remember,
coming up,
was
actually.
your friend Bob.
Or no, actually, this does go on for a minute. I'm trying to remember what the girl's name is, actually. Because that would be the... Yin was her last name? No, come on. Lily Yin, yes, Lily Yin. That's it.
Lily?
Lily,
It was
the
the-
Lily from my videos is Lily Yin.
Oh, okay. It kept attaching to what's the other Lily's last name? The trans woman that's always at Disneyland.
Yeah, that's just because that's when you go on TikTok and you leave enough comments or upvote enough.
Dax was a cameraman on Project X. He knows what he's talking about. It does look pretty bad, yeah. I think how he gets the bit, he's really good at playing stupid. I do think that's the whole thing, is that because what they did was they brought him. I mean, they have Dax Shepard on instead of Dax Flame. He does look a little bit like him, like a bizarro Dax Shepard.
You want your girlfriend to break up with you and burn down your apartment.
Well, initially
doesn't he? Just a little bit. God damn it! Every time I click, it's like a wrong place. This is who they thought Dax was marrying and having children with. And then this was Howie's big bit, I think, was bringing in that one talking head basketball.
How did you become like a talking ball?
That's a deep question to kick off with, but basically it's a hunch. I don't have a full answer, not scientifically at least. You want to hear it?
He bounced a few ideas around.
Oh, this guy with the basketball puns. Never heard that one before.
Ooh, Mr. Critic.
I'm just kidding, dude. It was
No,
hilarious.
I know. No, it's okay. It's all right. Sure.
Do you think here's the thing. I know Howie's always in on the bit. I think Howie is always in on the bit. I think he is like an elite level troll. But I also wonder if things like that do upset him sometimes. Because sometimes he seems to genuinely get tilted. But I would recommend this podcast. If you haven't seen it already, I'm sure you probably haven't. Dax Flame is a great guest, great star. And they actually do have a pretty good band. Sonny and the Black Pack. Let's hope that's not copywritten. But since they are actually starting today, I guess I have to move along because we do have a few other things to look at today. And I thought this was just an interesting video. Someone said it in the beginning. I literally do not remember who now. Damn it. Someone recommended Radabrat, and I was like, who is that? I've heard that name before. And it was because we watched this video.
In an age of social media where our engagement helps to inform what...
It was a pretty good video. And she's been making some more content. This one is like more of a compilation of different Hasan takes and then YouTubers kind of acting as if he believes differently. And then a few other videos that are pretty good. Some compilations here and there. So shout out. I just wanted to give that a quick little shout out, you know. Everybody loves more content, am I right? But beyond that, what I want to talk about is this.
So recently,
because what we're going to do is, I saw this. What I saw was this video. I follow Metatron. I do think we are ideologically separated on certain things. But then he did, on a different video, a political compass test. So I want to do the political compass test that he took. See where I land on the political compass. I was looking at some of the comments. People were saying that it's like it's skewed left wing and stuff. It's skewed liberal. It's skewed for the liberals, for all them libs. Which I think is kind of funny because it's like, I mean, it's just, if you can't be honest about your sensibilities, then I think that that's just something that you have to kind of contend with internally. But I don't think it's necessarily too heavy-handed. But I guess we'll see fully when we get there. She gets recommended to me on Instagram. True. Political Compass is not very good. How bad is it? Is there a better one? That's just the one he took. I just got banned on Hasan's Twitch, LMFAO. You're probably better off that way. But I just thought this was interesting because a lot of people have developed different feelings for Frogan, and I think this is why it's necessary to see that people like to think that the specific hate is just a snark from the H3 community showing people that they hate Frogan and denims and this, and it's like they are getting like not dogpiled because that almost sounds like it's unjustified, but they're getting hit from a lot of different angles because of the different things that they've said. So I just thought this was somewhat interesting just to see a different perspective.
As you know, I've been speaking a lot about all sorts of horrible content creators, meaning Destiny, Hasan Piker. But today I have a special place for one of my...
You should try and place yourself before the test and then see how right you were. I think I'm a lib. I think I'm a lefty lib, probably. And I do mean that in like the term of libertarian, because that's how it's broken up.
Favorite, meaning one of the worst ever, Frogan. If you don't know who Frogan is, she belongs to the Hasan Piker entourage, and she's a disgusting human being. Now, why I say that? Because of some of the things she said, specifically one event, aka where she was laughing and joking about 9/11 in the United States, where she...
Well, yeah, I don't think you should take the test and think that that's going to be like... I don't think you should take the test and assume that's like what direction you should vote or something. But I think it might be able to, if you're honest at least, it might help you assess your own thoughts maybe a little bit more if you're in a different position than you thought. But I think most people are kind of at least somewhat aware of their own beliefs, at least internally, even if they aren't willing to admit it, like to others.
Lives, by the way. Apparently she thinks it's hilarious that people died during 9/11. So yeah, it's just suffice to say I can't stand it, which is why...
Hate in all caps is a little much for me. I don't know about you guys. I just like her. I don't really hate her, to be honest. Well, that was one thing I was going to say, is this guy is definitely more right-wing. I didn't watch all this video all the way through. I did just want to see where he ended up. And he's definitely a centrist, but goes more in the right side. So I think that he sees it a little more... he sees the statements that she's made about 9/11 and other things a little unfavorably. He brings up the 9/11 statements specifically, and I don't know if he knows about what she said about veterans.
I was very happy when
I assume
she
you would
got
be very
sued
much against
by
that too.
Ethan Klein. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know anything about this man. I know it might surprise you, but I don't live chronically online, and I don't watch podcasts. Podcasts bore me to death. There, I said it. So if there is one thing I watch YouTube videos.
Podcasts bore me to death. All I do is historical. Honestly, he hasn't been doing it in a bit. He's been doing a lot more political stuff recently. The reason I followed Metatron initially is because he would talk about like were medieval knights jacked? Medieval myths you still believe. Boiled oil in sieges? The main difference between Greek and Roman armor. He would do like armor analysis and different stuff like that, which was kind of cool. He's definitely getting more in the politisphere. I think a lot of it came from the Charlie Kirk stuff, specifically.
Videos. I watch tutorials, but I do not watch podcasts.
But that's more interesting, right? Podcasts are boring. Let's talk about... ancient Rome's roads and how they were built. Now that's interesting.
So I haven't got a clue what he talks about, who he supports, what his thinking is. I don't know anything about Ethan Klein, except for the fact that he sued Frogan. And since I cannot stand Frogan, I will celebrate. In fact, let me give you a little bit of a law recap on this. I'll be honest with you, I don't really watch H3, but this one I'm gonna watch. This one I am gonna watch because, yeah. Anyways, let me tell you this much, guys. Just to give you, if you don't know, I mean, I guess you do. I imagine you already know, but if you don't, so H3, Ethan Klein, I don't know how you pronounce it, is suing 3 creators for copyright infringement because they are reenactors.
You know, this is kind of interesting because I was wondering how aware of the H3 podcast he was, and it seems not very. He had in the past actually had an issue with BBTV and had posted about it, basically almost like the exact same issue that Ethan and a bunch of other creators had at one point, and his was more recently. This had happened within the last couple of years, I believe, like the last year or so. I want to say the last year and a half at least, but I found that interesting then. So he must not have looked into it too heavily of the history of BBTV and their issues.
Reacting channel, reactors, whatever they're called. In fact, I shouldn't probably say creators, I should say, let's put it in quotes, creators. Anyways, this kind of got me interested because at first I was like, wait, what about fair use? Because, I always speak about fair use, but then Frogan, so already when I saw that, I'm like, ooh, this is good. Oh, this is good. Whatever it is, this is good. I mean, not whatever it is, because if it's, of course I'm a supporter of fair use, but fair use doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. Like there are some checkbox when it comes to fair use, right? As a defense against copyright infringement, at least here in the United States. He's in the right. We can like him, we can hate him, we can do whatever we want. I'm kind of indifferent, but he's right. I mean, I saw the way...
What American accent is this? What state accent is this here in America? I know he's just talking about where the lawsuit's taking place. This is a strange American accent. Where is he from? Boston? What is this? Mississippi, perhaps?
They did the reactions and the malice that went behind it, and how much, literally, how can a person do this during the entire stream and specifically say that they're doing it on purpose to take away the views from the creator? So that's just to give you an idea. Regardless, as I say, I don't know anything about the other 2 creators. I don't know who. I mean, her face tells me everything I need to know with that grin, but whatever. So I don't know her. I do know Frogan, and I dislike her up to a level that it's... Yeah, so this is going to be great. This is going to be fantastic. Why am I so happy that among the 3 people that are being sued, there is Frogan, okay? Why am I so happy that this specific Twitch streamer is getting sued, and why do I hope she gets sued into oblivion? I'm going to show you a little clip now. I'm going to show you a little clip as to why, so you'll see. Because, I'm usually not a bitter person, am I? And yet...
Honestly, I don't think this is necessary to look at the whole thing. It's just him talking about the...
Off the shores of Naples is Capri.
He got upset about that. True Italian.
If we get to this goal by 9/11, Capri, Raph, and I will make the Twin Towers out of a stacked cake, and we'll make an airplane, and we'll recreate 9/11.
Did you hear that? So she was gonna celebrate 9/11 with a cake, and then take a plane and smack it onto the cake. Well, you know what? This is evil. This goes beyond politics. This is evil. Be right back. I've got something for you, Frogan, if you're watching. Frogan, while you're...
He just brought some cheesecake.
I hope you lose every cent you'll ever make, because that's what hateful people like you deserve. And to all those who donated to her, her little minions, I can't even imagine what they would look like. You know what? I'm going to try and visualize.
I don't think he's trying to call her ugly here in the end, but he does kind of just unintentionally just say she's ugly. I think he's trying to talk about her character. But the images he brings up do not represent that. But the other interesting part is apparently, from what other people have gathered, I honestly hadn't looked into this much myself, but other people are saying that Frogan hasn't responded still to the case, the legal filing. They still haven't responded, and she had gotten an extension till October 3rd, and it just still nothing. Still nah. Apparently, the 12 Axis quiz is one of the better political compass tests, from what I've gathered. Does it actually show me a picture of the compass? Because that's what I care about. I want it to show me clear and cut where I am, so I know who to vote for. This was wow. That's a great little freeze frame right there. But he's more politically. If I had to guess where I am, I think I'm pretty far left and pretty libertarian in nature. I don't know if I'd be more left or more libertarian. Why not both? But I could do this one, or I could do the 12 Axes one. Is this one going to make me feel stupid? No, it shows a percentage on each category. Here, let's do the political compass test first. I'll probably have enough time to do both. Should I put on spooky music for this? I'll probably have enough time to do both, honestly. All I have is spooky music prepped. This is perfect for a political alignment test. Let's see. This is how politics feels to me. I did go in to see it. I started taking it and I realized I gotta do this on stream. Hi, Captain and crew. See y'all in the live chat in a bit. On an airplane for the next 4 hours. Shout out the girl with a microphone, Kate. Have a good flight. Okay, let's do it. So, test. Page 1 of 6. This music is still kind of loud in my ears. There, I turned it down for me. Test. Page 1 of 6. Just a few prepositions to start with, concerning, no less, how you see the country and the world. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. I'd strongly agree with that. I guess I see what they mean, in a sense. But I guess the implication would be that the transnational corporations would be supposed to increase the benefit of the working class or whatever in some way by increasing just overall production or something. It's like I guess the presumption you would be saying that with what you would gather from this because I'm a lefty, so I'd be thinking that supporting transnational corporations would be more right. It'd be more authoritarian, I suppose. I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. I disagree, but not strongly disagree, because I support my country, but that doesn't mean I always support my countrymen, necessarily. But especially when they're wrong. Even if it's just an assumed wrong, I'll at least question it. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. I disagree with that. To just blindly be foolish or to just blindly be, feel disgraced by your country is also probably foolish. There's pride to be felt in your country, and there's shame to be felt in your country, and you should probably figure out what the actual history is. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. I disagree with that. I don't think it's race-based. Strongly disagree. Wait, no, is that saying that I have inferior qualities? Oh no! I don't want to say that. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I disagree with that. You'd have to prove something to me first. I might be quicker to hear you out, but I'm not gonna just jump on your side just because you're an enemy. Oh no, what? Did I say something wrong? Did I do something racist? Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. I would strongly disagree with that one. Because obviously international law isn't like, I guess I disagree, because international law shouldn't be the end-all be-all. Obviously there's going to be moments in which you have to like make a decision, and those decisions may or may not go against international law. So I don't know what the caveats therein would be, but I guess I'll just disagree with it in part. No, I was just kidding. Hello. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It looks like they're going live for the public. Insane. They AI'd Kaya. That is insane. Like, why are you guys going to AI both of them and make Hasan's skin look smoother? How are you going to do that to my boy? Sorry, let's continue. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I would disagree. I think infotainment. Edutainment. I was trying to think of the right word. Edutainment is a good thing. But I think the fusion could probably be wrong. It could be like bad, because if you are trying to like embed ideas in, like subliminally through entertainment, then there's probably an issue there. But I don't think like edutainment is wrong. I think they're just trolling with the AI filter. They're trolling me specifically. Wembers Wednesdays is so over. So we're rolling on page 2. Now the economy. We're talking attitudes here, not the FTSE index. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. I'd agree by this. I'd agree in this. I'd say that this is where the actual division comes from, but this would be an assumed cause of the division by many. So, you know what I mean? You can't strongly agree with it, because there are a lot of people who just don't like people's be based on their nationality. Or even like think that their differences are based on their nationality and not based on the classes that they're in and the class systems that they have in their independent governments and stuff. Most people get their news, I strongly agree with this one, most people get their news from social media where algos push for clicks over correct info. Yeah, I agree with you on that, but my argument is that it's not necessarily a wrong. It really is the utilization of it, and that's why we have. That's why I'm not. I guess I'm not a true libertarian, because I do believe in like restrictions of like certain types of media and stuff, and like being able to have things like the FCC and other organizations that can to some degree censor certain topics and certain like misinformation, if that might be the so far to say. But yeah, so I don't know. It's a complicated issue for sure. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Could one solve the other? I think if you solve unemployment, though, I think the idea is that if you have, so I guess I'd strongly disagree with this, because I would say that if you have social programs in place, the rise in inflation should be like what you would try and do is meet that with the social programs that would be helping control unemployment rates. Right, so I disagree with that. Controlling inflation is more important than... Yeah. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulations. I would strongly agree with this. Specifically when talking about the environment, I would strongly agree. When it comes to regulation in general, I think there's probably limitations to the regulations that should be put on companies. But I don't think regulation is necessarily bad. I think whole stop limitations are bad, but regulations are decent, like are good to have. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. Yes, that's that good old the good old communism, socialism. The freer the market, the freer the people. I disagree with that. I mean, free markets are good, but it doesn't make the people freer just to have free markets. Especially when those, like an ultimately free market, like one that is truly free, will have like monopolization and like bad actors that are doing what is now currently crimes. What are now currently crimes. It's a sad reflection of our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. I'd agree with that. Give water. Give us water. Give me water. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I agree. I guess I strongly agree, because it shouldn't be a commodity. I think it's okay to have it bought and sold, but having it bought and sold for the purpose of just buying and selling it, I don't know. I know that's kind of a bastardization of commodity, but I think that's kind of what it is. I heard unemployment needs to stay at a percentage to incentivize progress and innovation. No, yeah, that's true. What you need is you also need people. Like the argument I've heard that's kind of interesting is you need people to fill new positions and stuff. And I hear Republicans say that sometime, and it is an interesting concept. But the question is about that percentage of if you have like, because they like one thing that they say is there's one job for every. There's at least enough jobs for the amount of homeless people or like the unemployment. Like the unemployed people in America, but that's not accounting for like travel and like the locations of the jobs in in contrast to like the people who need the jobs. You know what I mean? Because it's like you might have a bunch of jobs in a city where there aren't the people that need the jobs in this small town that like are like 50 miles outside of the city that aren't going to drive to the city for work. But yeah, having some percentage is definitely it isn't a terrible idea to have some level of unemployment. Here, let me do the poll real quick. Appreciate the spooky music. Well, that's like kind of the whole thing, right? Is the whole what you want to do is create the programs that incentivize people to get off unemployment, right? And it's like it's a hard, it's definitely a hard tightrope to walk. But it's probably a better one to walk than just having people homeless. And, I believe in a greater good for the people. Deaf on time today? It's possible. Yes, I'm Mickey Mouse. I can't do it right now. For some reason, I've been trying to do high-pitched voices. Maybe I'm sick or something. I don't know. I haven't been able to do high-pitched impressions recently. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Yes, that is regrettable. Or regrettable for who? But I guess just society in general. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Probably, but I guess this is almost like it's asking you like a factual question. I don't know. I guess, sure. It's probably something that's studied, right? I don't know. Social sciences. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. I would strongly disagree with that. The rich are too highly taxed. Strongly disagree. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. I'll disagree, but not strongly disagree, because I think in theory it makes sense that like if you have my whole thought is like kind of that like I'm saying, social programming with a free market like kind of a workaround. I don't know how to explain it properly, because what you would want is like there be a way in which somebody could get medical maybe supplies, but the service itself is what you don't want to cut lines for, except for it being like actual in life or death, medical necessity, rather than just being paid in. But like if some dude wants to buy a bunch of fucking drugs and inject them into himself, go right ahead. If the dude wants to buy scalpels and try and dissect his own foot, who am I to be opposed to that? If he has the money for it, he should be allowed to. I'm just free. I'm just a free kind of guy. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. I strongly agree with that. To what degree you penalize them, it would be the question, but I think that they should be penalized for that. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predatory multinationals to create monopolies. See, this is what I was talking about. A genuine free market requires restrictions, which kind of negates from the whole free idea, but I would strongly agree with this. This is what I'm saying, is it's like you need some kind of restrictions, but I don't know if necessarily just having hard stance limitations is necessarily the way to go. I'm no economist. I got charged $80 for a single Motrin when I gave birth. That was 18 years ago. That Motrin is probably $250 by now. Yeah, it's just it's crazy. If you're pregnant and you feel like you're about to give birth, fly to a different country. Fly to somewhere where they have free healthcare. Or do what most Americans do and never pay your medical debt and just leave it there and literally just never pay it anyways. I'm not encouraging you to do this. I'm saying that that was not what I meant to be doing by that. What I'm doing is just expressing what a lot of people do through a comedic jest. If I just keep the hand up, then it looks like nothing I'm saying is serious. Oh god, we're only on page 3 of 6. I need to get through this. Now, a look at some of your personal social values. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Strongly disagree. All authority should be questioned. I strongly agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Disagree. I believe in punishment, but it has to be not just reciprocal punishment. I think is kind of odd. We don't believe in Sharia law. We don't believe in old Judeo law. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. Disagree. I think we need to put more. I'll disagree with it because, it's to what extent? Because if it's not even being used, then it's probably not necessary. But I think that there should be an encouragement, both communally and, probably governmentally on some level, for the arts. We should encourage it. They want everything to be bland and drab. I will say it. Never pay the medical debt. Skip town and start a new life. It's just easier. You don't even have to skip town. Just say fuck it. Wait for that shit to go to collections. Then skip town. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. Should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I guess I agree. I don't think it should be the law. I don't think parents should be in trouble. But I do think that there should be some kind of attendance structure to keep kids in school because, there are bad parents who just don't even care and their kids end up not getting an education because they just had poor parenting. Easy slide to dystopian society by not funding the arts. Exactly. We're getting that gray sludge very soon. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. I strongly disagree with this. I'm a big multiculturalist. I believe in the cohabitation of different peoples all together. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. I'll agree. I haven't studied ODD enough, but let's say a kid has oppositional defiance disorder that, let's say, doesn't stem from the parents themselves, and they can't rein in their child. I think that obviously physical violence is never okay, and it should never be done in the pursuit of relieving your own frustrations. But I think that, as we've said before, I think that it's probably just the male in me that thinks this. But I've always just you have to understand the principle as a man that in the world, if you act a certain way, there will be someone bigger than you, stronger than you, and crazier than you that will hurt you. And I think that, my mom would pinch us on the arm or do something not aggressively, because there are people that do abuse that way too. But that's, again, I think that it really does depend on the motivations in which that you're doing stuff and to the extent in which that you do it. But I think that's why it's let's really hone in on the good parents part. They have to be good parents. I just use a shot collar, exactly. The Mickey Mouse hand spanking. Let me just say, let me put it this way, right? My mom smacked me in the mouth a few times. I don't think I probably got swatted on the butt here and there, You're grabbing the stuff in the store, knocking stuff off the off the shelves or something. Your mom grabs your wrist, gives you a little swat on the butt. Something like that, I don't think is necessarily the issue. But like I've said before, I have a friend who was abused pretty bad as a child. And the things he explains of the period in which how young he was, literally months old, getting his mom told him that he was literally months old getting hit by his father. So there's clearly something that can be seen as informative and something that could be seen as damaging wholly. Because like I'm saying, my mom smacked me in the mouth, swatted me on the butt. The worst I ever got hit was by my brother using a wooden spoon and just smacking me with it really bad. Yeah, my mom beat the shit out of my piece of shit brother and he grew up to be a degenerate. Well, that's what I say about my friend. My friend is a good person. In his heart, I think he's a good guy. But he genuinely got beat when he did the wrong thing. He got beat when he tried to do the right thing. And he has said this to me specifically, that he has lost, like he at some point lost the point, like the purpose in trying to do the right thing. Because regardless of how he acted, he would get beat, so why not just do bad things anyways? If I'm gonna get punished regardless, I'm gonna just do whatever I feel like doing in the moment. And that doesn't just counteract the empathetic thought, but it is like the start of what I perceive as oppositional defiance disorder on some level. Yeah, my Korean grandma used to smack our wrists with rulers and make us do stress positions, and I will not be carrying that on. No, exactly, and that's the whole thing is, each generation, you should be attempting to do better than the generation before you. There's no way you're going to be perfect, but it is about trying to do better than before you. And like I said, my parents barely ever put their hands on me, so I really don't think I'm going to put my hands on my kids. But I also have told the story of, there was a guy whose stepson held a knife at him at the edge of the bed and was threatening him with a knife when he was a little kid. And if that was my stepson, I'm sorry, I'm kicking the shit out of that kid. Kid holds a knife to me, I'm getting cut in the process, maybe mortally. But I am teaching that little shit a lesson. Scaring children into compliance, regardless of if it works, will not create a healthy relationship or attachment to the parent. Well, I think on some level that isn't necessarily what's being taught in that moment, right? When you're disciplining a child in the pursuit of them acting violently or acting out against somebody, it isn't to show them that they can have a healthy relationship with you in that instance. Because they won't be able to have a healthy relationship with other people when they act like that either. Hey Captain, sorry I'm late. I was busy air tagging my dog. So true. Breaking generational trauma. So true. And that's what I'm saying too, is it's not about, it shouldn't be about compliance or your own feelings of frustration or your own perverted sensibilities. What it should genuinely be for is the principle I'm saying is that in the world there are ways that you act, and if you act in opposition to those perceived moral standards, there are people that will viciously hurt you and possibly kill you because they are bigger than you, stronger than you, and crazier than you. It might have more weapons than you. Who knows? I just say look up learning behaviors and how those are trained in labs. Best way to teach appropriate behaviors, apparently. Yeah, that's worth a shot. I think, honestly, doing as much research as possible is probably the way to go. When you have a child, doing more research can never be the wrong thing to do, right? But yes, let's continue. Sorry to go off on the child abuse tangent. Oh, they're going live, then doing a members after. No, thanks, Unk. Thanks for letting us know. Unk is online. But let's continue. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. I strongly agree. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Again, we can talk about the restrictions on marijuana and the drug trade. But again, there's the difference in thinking that marijuana specifically should be illegal and also just thinking drugs as a whole should be illegal. And I think let them all be legal. Come on. Sorry, I'm never going to agree on this, LOL. I've taken too many psych classes. Well, in the instance of that I've presented, what is your, in that moment, the action to take? The child is holding the knife at you. Is it just to wait and then get him therapy later? Because, I mean, in some people, that doesn't work either, to be completely fair. Don't they say therapy only works for those who want it? The prime function of schooling should be to equip the further generation to find jobs. Disagree. It should be to equip the future generation with knowledge. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. I strongly disagree with that one. Let them have some fun. The most important thing for children to learn... I guess I disagree with it, but I don't strongly disagree. There is an extent. There is an extent. If you know that a person's just going to literally... I think we maybe should stop it at the source. I think personally like this, right? If I knew all of my children were going to come out physically disabled to the point of living a horrible life, I would probably just get a vasectomy and adopt. Like, personally. Do. It's almost always turning children into emotional literal punching bags. No, yeah. And that's why I think that in general, like I said, I don't think that I was ever smacked or swatted on my butt for like my parents, anything other than a corrective measure. And I genuinely don't think that it has altered me in any way negatively, other than I perceive it to be not as bad, if you want to consider that wrong, I guess. Maybe I'm mentally deficient. I don't know. Maybe it has caused a regression in my mind. Shout out eugenics. Well, here's the thing. I think that eugenics is wrong when... that is a eugenics question, low-key. Eugenics is wrong when put forth on others. But I think that one should know their own capacities, you know. We're live. Well, I'm going to finish this off if anybody wants to stick around for that. We only have a few more things. So I'll finish this off and then call it. But yes, they have gone live. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But we're going to continue this political alignment chart real quick. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. I wouldn't say that's the most important thing for a child to learn, but I do think personal discipline is probably a very important thing to learn. There are no savage or civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. There are no savage or civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. Yes, strongly agree. Because there are savage and civilized people, but for it to say peoples is to imply like the whole group itself is savage or uncivilized. Like they're talking about them grouped as whole. I'll stick around and have y'all on my other screen. Thanks for streaming. Thank you. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Those who are able to work and refuse opportunity, strongly disagree. Or I guess I disagree. Because like I'm saying, I think that unemployment should be temporary you should be working towards something. But I think defining what that something is has most of the time come from like the necessity of just having money, where it should come from an actual like purpose of some kind, whether it's defined whether it's defined societally or personally. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. I strongly disagree. Think about your bad thoughts. Think about your bad thoughts and contend with them. Argue with yourself mentally. Have introspect. Introspection is the key to life. That is your consciousness. That is your internal dialogue. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. I strongly disagree. They can be fully integrated. They might not fully assimilate like into the presented culture, I guess, but they can integrate into a multicultural society. But if you are trying to have a nationalistic country, then no. What's good for the most successful corporations is always, ultimately, good for all of us. Strongly disagree. We literally just saw how they were talking about how they should only benefit their stockholders. No broadcasting institutions, however independent its content, should receive public funding. Disagree, because I guess that kind of goes into receive public funding. I'm kind of confused what it means by that. Broadcasting institution. Should receive public funding. Is it saying that it should only receive governmental funding, or that... I'm going to just disagree with that because I'm a little confused, but no broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. I don't think public funding is necessarily bad, but I guess I'm a little confused on the question. And how you see the wider society. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. I disagree with that. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're talking about, but I mean, I haven't felt any of my own civil liberties being curbed. They're making me get a new ID. Is that it? A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all of the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. So we're talking about fascism. A significant advantage. I mean, I guess that is a significant advantage. That is true. I do agree that that is a significant advantage, but do I think that is a good thing? No. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers should need to be worried. I disagree. I do think that to some degree, like, I do believe in, like, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. But I believe it more so in the shame realm. I do think that there is going to be a time when utilizing people's personal, like, just even like their appearance is going to become an issue. So, yeah. I disagree with that. But I do think that shamefully nobody should care about that. If somebody makes... I've said it, I'll say it, if I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000,000 times. If somebody makes AI porn of me, go ahead. Go ahead. Go and do it. Make sure I'm throwing it back good. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. I agree. The death penalty is a hard one for me. Because I genuinely, like, there's just a certain level where it's just like, what's the difference? What's the difference in killing somebody outright and just holding them in a cage until they die of natural causes? Like, they're kind of... The rehabilitation aspect is a necessary conversation, but not in terms of the death penalty, because the death penalty, the only alternative would be permanent incarceration. And I don't know if that's if that's better. Like, if that's, like, morally a better thing to do, to just wait. I'm going to hold this guy in a cage until he dies of, natural causes. Just because you didn't do it. It's like That's the trolley problem of the death penalty. Like TV programs or news outlets being government funded. Europe is trying to control people with chat control. I'm 100% against it. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what I thought it was saying. So I do disagree with that. I think that they should be able to be publicly funded and have publicly funded programs. Because if you just, why would you be against that at all? You don't want the power to the people? In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. I strongly disagree with that one. I don't think that it should be a hierarchical system because it begs the question, who is at the top and who is at the bottom? And what do those positions then in between mean? Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Strongly disagree, because art itself, every art is abstract art. If you really think about it, it's fucking blotches of paint on a canvas that you are then interpreting in your mind to be a different piece. And whether it be, you know, that's paint on canvas, but whether it be tires put together in a certain stacking, or, you know, whatever it is, the art, even in the most abstract, comes from the artist. Because, you know, they say separate the artist from the art, but really, like, someone who's doing purely abstract art, like something like why can't I remember his name right now? Who's the one that just does the splatters? Why can't I remember his name? You get what I'm saying. When you're doing pure abstraction, then it would come from the type of abstraction that you're doing. Are you doing just big blobs of paint? Are you doing harsh lines? Are you doing fluid motions? And what does that mean about the artists themselves? And that's what the art is. I'm trying to think of what the fuck his name is. Why is it literally leaving me? Oh, this is actually gonna bother me. Just Twombly coming up, and I don't mean Twombly. Whatever, I don't care. Sure, Twombly. You look at Twombly's art and you're like, oh, what does it mean? The counter argument is that government might use it for propaganda and it will never be full detached from their ideals. But in Portugal, we have RTP and it's by far the best news outlet. No, and I think that's kind of the best. I mean, that's not just a counter argument. That's the best argument, because quite literally that's what would happen. Because what was the country that just recently had the AI government official be elected or be put into position? But the issue with that is that they aren't like an unbiased source. They are completely like at the behest of whoever created their algorithm and whoever, like, what data sets were implanted into them. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Strongly disagree. Rehabilitation is the top. I think it is almost of more importance than than punishment, because, like, the rehabilitation of both the victim and the criminal. Because you talk about rehabilitation and you're talking about the rehabilitation of the criminal away from crimes. But we shouldn't be just looking to rehabilitate the victim through the punishment of the criminal. it is a waste of time to try and rehabilitate some criminals. I disagree with it. Maybe some, but like it'd be the fewest percentage of just those that are like maybe like mentally gone, are completely beholden to their ideals, like Ed Kemper, who believes that he's like smarter than anybody that he talks to. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. Strongly disagree. They probably are of equal importance. It's all about to what they serve, I guess. But the importance is super. It's super. I guess without the manufacturer, you can't have the writer or artist be published. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be a housemaker. I think it depends on the established roles that you've defined in your relationship. I think that more often than not, you have a masculine and a feminine archetype in relationships, whether it be heteronormative or homosexual or of transgender relations. I don't know what you call because it's not considered heteronormative. What would you consider like two transgender people that are like in a heterosexual relationship? Because it's not heteronormative, but it's hetero, technically. Interesting. But I do think that those, because even like there's masculine women that find feminine men that are in heterosexual relationships. And I think that it just depends on whatever those dynamics fit into your relationship best. I mean, if the democracy is strong and government-funded outlets will be more fact-based, and if the democracy isn't that strong or skewing to dictatorship, it will follow. In my country, I feel it's the least biased and least clickbaity. Like, I understand the why it could be good, but I think the question is asking whether or not, I think that's why it's asking whether or not publicly funded is good, because government funded could be good in certain instances. It depends on what your government is trying to present. But to say that publicly funded broadcasting institutions are wrong is wholesale just untrue and like a false statement, because you should have publicly funded that's public access. That's like, well, power to the people, like I was saying. Almost all politicians promise economic growth, but we should heed the warnings of climate science that growth is detrimental to... No, we shouldn't heed the warnings of climate science. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. I'd agree with that. It's not making peace with the establishment in terms of becoming... beholden to it and letting yourself fall under its boot, but you need to make peace in yourself that there is an establishment, and if you want to overcome it, you have to do it in like a mature way. Make peace with the establishment that's in place and figure out the powers that you can start questioning and poking and prodding at that can then break down the system into something more manageable. Because nothing is going to change overnight. It's all about the transformations that we can make over time. Page 5 of 6, almost done. Astrology accurately explains many things. I agree with that. We can get into that later. But I think that astrology is a great means of expressing correlation, not causation. And that is to say that astrology will not tell you exactly how your life will be lived, but things that you might want to take into consideration when acting. Because if the place, like the country you were born, the years and generations that you were born matters, then why wouldn't the certain time of year that you were born have an effect on your character to some degree? Humans are all we're very similar in different we're similar in different ways, which is kind of interesting. And so I think that astrology is good at looking at some of those correlations without being able to point directly at what the causation is. That's just my whole theory on it. But that's just an astrology theory. You cannot be moral without being religious. I strongly disagree with that. Because you can build your morals off of other ethical principles that honestly predate a lot of modern religious thought. So, yeah, strongly disagree with that. Charity is better than Social Security. Well, because also you can be a religious you can be like a in the Christian Bible. It even talks about it. You can reach. Like the Samaritans can reach the level of being like Christ without necessarily following following him religiously. Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. No, I strongly disagree. We shouldn't look to charity as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged, because the charity of others is great, but it's already being siphoned out of us through taxation. So Social Security should be exactly that. Social Security. As enforced. It's enforced charity. Some people are naturally unlucky. See, I agree with that just on I think that this... I don't know what this has to do with actually political beliefs, honestly. But I just think about it in a metaphysical sense. I think people are probably unlucky to some degree, whether it's karmically or whatever. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. I strongly disagree with this. I think it is important that they instill moral values, and studying religious texts could be interesting and of value, but I don't think that instilling religious values is good, especially because it, again, begs the question of which religious values. So yes, I strongly disagree with that one. It is important. It is unimportant. Page 6 of 6, last questions. Only a little bit left. Page 6 of 6, finally, a look at sex. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. I think sex is probably... Sex between two consenting adults is probably the most moral thing you can do. The same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded. Okay, I thought it was going to be should be excluded. Okay, should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Yes, this is such a they're speaking in a lot of double negatives. A lot of people are saying that this test is skewed liberal, and I think that whoever wrote this is honestly just bad at what they're doing, because this is a double negative. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. So a same-sex couple in a loving relationship should be able to adopt. Yes, I agree. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. Yes, I agree. I guess I agree, not strongly agree. I think that pornography has taken a bad turn. I don't think it's taken necessarily the toll on society that some people like to think that it has, but I think that it has become more of a parasocial landscape when it should just be a media-based thing. You should be creating content, not creating relationships with donators. If you want to sell porn, that's not a problem. Create storylines, create characters, create arcs. And we're not just talking about your back. We're talking about storylines. We want to have things that are interesting happen, not just vaginas and penises. That's just the cherry on top. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. I strongly agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. This is a stupid question because, yes, people can feel naturally homosexual, but you could also, if you wanted to, make an argument that some people act in homosexual behaviors against their nature because of social norms or something, and you could argue about if that's wrong or right or whatever. But just saying that it doesn't naturally occur is very stupid. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. I would strongly disagree with that. Got to be open about sex, guys. What's your penis look like? Now let's see where I stand. Am I a lib? Am I a lib? What the hell does this mean? I gotta scroll down more. Oh my god, I'm Chinese. No, I am... Okay, so I'm more left than I am libertarian, which is kind of what I would have assumed. But I'm very far left and pretty libertarian, about half into the libertarian scale on my social scale. But on my economic scale, I am literally almost to the farthest degree to the left. But fuck the authoritarians. You know, we hate them. Swapped my laptop so I can watch both streams. I do appreciate that, Lester, but I think I'm just about done. I could do the 12 axes, but is this one going to take longer? How long is this one going to take? The full version is 24 questions per axis for a total of 216 questions. I'll save this one for another time. I was going to do a bit of a longer stream, but since they're doing a stream today, and it's almost 1, I guess this is where I'm going to call it. So I do appreciate it, Lester. I'm sorry you came on, but do something else on your computer. Maybe there's some other people that are streaming right now that you can go support. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're doing more streams as we come through the holiday season. I had some stuff to talk about Halloween-wise as well, but I guess we'll get to that later on in the week. Thank you so much for watching. This is Captain Quasar, signing off. There's a smaller 60-something version. Oh, short version with 5 questions per axis, 45 questions. I still think I'll take that next time. I'll take this on the next one, on my next stream, because this one will probably be a little bit more intensive, and maybe we can actually break down what I actually am. Because yeah, I don't think this is necessarily the best thing ever, but yes, Captain Quasar signing off. The glove has come off. Oh yeah, thanks for